Welcome to Mount Maunganui, renowned for its crystal clear waters and white sand beach.
I love being in the Mount. Personally, it's my happy place. The vibe's so good, everyone's here, everyone knows it's summertime. It's a fantastic vibe.
It's no wonder lifeguards come from all over New Zealand and the world to patrol here over summer.
I love how you get to give back to the community and keep people safe whilst also having so much fun yourself. I mean, it's a pretty awesome job being able to be on the beach all day.
24-year-old Tauranga supervisor Nate Moore has handpicked the best of the best.
My role this year is the Tauranga supervisor, so managing the beaches from Mount Maunganui all the way down to Papamoa East, Omanu down the coast. At Bay Street, it's a massive role, and for some of the young guys to step up and take that responsibility, essentially, it's crazy.
To most people, saving lives and keeping the beach safe can seem like a daunting task.
Wow.
How are you looking?
I'm great.
You have to be prepared for everything. There's no 2 days the same.
Oh, yeah.
Every day is different. You might have a job at the Mount, you might have the job on Leisure Island. You might be in the water 24/7. It just throws everything at you, and you really have to be prepared.
With the number of beachgoers reaching up to 4,000 a day at the height of summer, sending everyone home safe means the stakes just got higher. More than 30 people drown in our waters each year. And this season, our Bay Patrol guards are hoping to change that.
We're on a beach where everyone's safe. It's the dream result.
A bit of swell running, actually. Got a nice wave coming through. Oh, finally. Sun's kicking off.
I'm excited to see these young guys kind of take more responsibility on their shoulders and really step up and show they can do these big rescues and these big moments, so it should be a good season.
A couple of Ks down the road at Tay Street Beach, hundreds of beachgoers are already filling every inch of sand. Waihi lifeguard Georgia and Taranaki guard Claudia are keeping beachgoers safe this morning between the flags.
Hey Georgia, how are you? So I've only just met Claudia. I was told by a friend she is this amazing sports superstar, and I recognised her name before I met her. She's absolutely awesome. She's such a bubbly person to be around, and we share a good yarn. Yeah. I'm moving in tonight, Claude.
You're moving in, yo. Like it.
Have you cleared me a little space?
Yeah, we've got about 6 spare bunk beds. So. Yeah, I've claimed 4 though. So.
Okay. All right.
No, there's 6 extra ones.
Okay,
yeah.
I've got 6 to choose from.
Yeah, look. George is so cool. We've only talked a couple times, but we've already got the gossip flowing, and yeah, I really like her, so I'm really looking forward to working with her for the rest of the summer.
But their shift is about to get interesting because a call has just come over comms.
Papamoa Surf.
Mount Maunganui Surf, you see that?
Papamoa from Mount, that's interesting.
We've had a number of calls about a large Jimmy.
Jimmy is lifeguard code for a shark. They also call it the man in the grey suit. Whatever it's called, it's something that Regional Supervisor Nate is all too familiar with.
We see sharks here almost daily. We get reports from them daily.
Seeing off Sungrave Ave and heading towards Papamoa.
We get a lot of bronze whalers. They're kind of slightly bigger. They're 2 to 3 metres. These are quite imposing sharks.
Oh, so maybe it's gone down, and maybe it's...
We've had a few already this morning, guys. We're quite regular along here.
The protocol for a shark sighting is we close our beach for 30 minutes from the last sighting. And the last sighting must be from a lifeguard. It can't be from a member of the public. So the shark today was on the other side of Motariki Island, which meant that the shark would have had to swim at least 200 metres out to sea and around Motariki Island to hurt anyone in our flagged area. Hence why John made the call to keep the flags up, and the beach was still deemed safe.
So thanks for the heads up.
All right then.
Where's it headed? Pat?
Yeah, cool, no worries. So you guys will be well across it. Keep up the good work down there and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm going to reserve. Stand by.
We'll close the beach if the shark is hanging around, but these sharks are often just cruising by, so there's no point getting everyone out of the water, kind of closing the whole beach for this per se, because it happens some places 10 times a day plus.
So it's not coming towards us. It's obviously done a 360 or 180, and it's going back down to Pat. So
That's
sweet.
good.
We're off the hook.
Thankfully, this shark has made its way back out to sea and away from beachgoers. And with no more potential threat, these guards can breathe a sigh of relief. But jimmies aren't the only thing they need to be worried about. Tay Street is a popular surf beach that's renowned for its strong rips.
So Tay Street is basically bang in the middle between the Mount and Omanu. Conditions can be a bit more dangerous. You get your flash rips, your holes and that sort of thing because of the openness of the beach.
Today's conditions are far from perfect. There's a strong northerly wind hitting the beach, causing a very large, choppy swell.
When the surf gets up, even like Olympic swimmers couldn't swim in against some of the rips that we've been in. It can be a very dangerous place.
20-year-old Tay Street head lifeguard Jamin is patrolling between the flags. And not long into the Tay Street crew shift, they are approached by an extremely distressed mother with every parent's worst nightmare. Young lifeguard Zach is in the tower when he receives a call over comms that a 7-year-old boy was last seen in the water and has yet to come out.
As a 7-year-old child, even with the best swimming abilities, with the waves this size pumping over them, wouldn't stand much chance after about 10 minutes in the water. So it's definitely an immediate concern.
Rescue, rescue, rescue. At Tay Street, we have a kid who's gone into the water and hasn't come out. We've sent 2 lifeguards in to have a look. We may need assistance. Over.
COVID might have stopped international tourists visiting Mount Maunganui this summer, but it hasn't stopped Kiwis from making the most of this slice of paradise down under.
We are just bombed with numbers from all over the show, and people are making the most of these conditions. Now we've had COVID, obviously can't really leave, so why not make the most of what's right here in front of us? We are blessed at the Mount to have such a beautiful location.
And not long into the Tay Street cruise shift, 17-year-old lifeguard Zach is in the tower when he receives a call over comm that a 7-year-old boy was last seen in the water and hasn't been seen since.
Rescue, rescue, rescue. At Tay Street, we have a kid who's gone into the water and hasn't come out. We've sent 2 lifeguards in to have a look. We may need assistance. Over.
Mount on standby.
Jamin launches the IRB and heads out to scan the water with fellow guard Matt. While the missing child's mum is consoled on shore, Supervisor Nate arrives to get the lowdown from Claudia.
And then they had gone up the beach to pick up, and then he saw him like 20 seconds beforehand, and then he turned around and he was just gone.
Parents were sure their kid was last seen in the water, which for us was a massive wake-up call. Here we go. We're going in guns blazing to get this kid out as soon as possible. Missing children are a pretty common occurrence here, and we'll get the mothers will come to you quite hysterical, and it's a matter of kind of calming them down, trying to get the information out of them, like what they were last wearing, where they were last seen, where they could have possibly been going.
It's a
7-year-old boy, last seen at 12 p.m. where Claudia is standing. He is wearing a green polka dot shirt and a black cap. He has no medical conditions.
Jamin and Matt check along the back of the surf to make sure the boy hasn't drifted out to sea.
Once we couldn't see anything there, we returned to shore to get some more information.
Matt arrives back to shore where the boy's father has been searching further down the beach and is hoping for some good news.
So, unfortunately we've not been able to find this on. We're going to recruit him to a coordinated search.
The feeling goes from we need to find this kid immediately to what's happened, have we lost this kid? You know, you're counting down minute by minute when you're praying for a miracle.
Hi. What do we know so far? Was he last seen in the water?
Yeah, where Claudia's standing.
Where's Claudia?
She's okay.
So Alan Mundy, he's like one of the top guys at Surf NZ,
Okay, so we've got a jet ski on its way down.
and he got down here as quick as he can.
So we'll just try and get some clarity. You guys are doing well at the moment. We'll just find out what's going on.
He's done this for a very long time. It was really great to have him down here, you know, get his advice, get his help.
So kid up, get ready to go back out again.
Yeah,
We've got an RWC coming.
It's been 10 minutes with still no sign of the young boy.
Jamin? Yeah? I'll call the police. Yeah, call the police.
Up in the Tay Street Tower, Zach pulls in all resources to help with the search.
After you've done an initial search, the police were notified almost immediately due to the danger.
7, is he? Yes. What can we do? He's been missing for 10 minutes.
Police are an amazing resource for us down on the beach because we can focus completely on the water while they can search on land.
He was sitting, no, he was sitting on the beach. He was sitting on the beach. Sure he's from going to the water plus? Yeah. So was it here? Or? Yeah, literally just here.
For us, the scariest option is when the kid was last seen in the water. We had a drowning here in November, just down off Shark Alley, so that was kind of still fresh in everyone's mind. 10, 15 minutes gone past and you could see everyone sort of being like, this could be the worst possible situation.
What's he wearing at the moment? Green polka dot shorts. Yeah. Green and white top. Yeah. Striped top.
Essentially we want to focus on the inshore, so we'll get the guys to come right in close and head on towards where the drift is going at this point in time.
Swimmers are ordered out of the surf, and Supervisor Nate directs the team out on the IRB for the second time. At Tay Street Beach, every parent's worst nightmare is unfolding.
We need a search and rescue helicopter.
Unfortunately, we've not been able to find this on. We're going to recruit him to a coordinated search.
A 7-year-old boy was last seen in the water.
And he was to the left of flags, last seen 10, 15 minutes ago.
And head lifeguard Jamin knows just how quickly circumstances can change.
Currents going everywhere, a lot of wind, a lot of chop, a lot of foam floating around, you know. It's very hard to conduct a search in these conditions. As the time goes on, as you start feeling a bit nauseous, a bit like, what's going on? This can't be happening, that's those sorts of emotions while you're searching.
Has someone been up to the car? Yeah. I might go up there.
Okay, cool.
15 minutes have passed and there's still no sign of the boy.
The longer the search goes on, the more scary the situation becomes. Once someone's been out in the water, especially submerged for a decent amount of time, you know that there's only the worst that can happen.
Moments later, there's a breakthrough. Police have a possible sighting.
All lifeguards, are you receiving over? The boy has been found. He wandered up home.
The boy's father and police went back to the motel where the family was staying.
Stand down, the boy has been found.
That boy has been found.
Yes, the boy has been found.
And thankfully, he was found there, alive and well.
The reason we didn't check more on land is because the dad was so certain that the child was in the water. Just such a relief.
The family are finally reunited, with hugs all round.
You've prepped yourself to be looking in the water to find a dead body, and then all of a sudden you hear that the boy's alive, and it's just a massive relief. It's almost a miracle, really.
Pure flake. That's a massive relief.
A brand new day brings a whole new set of challenges for 24-year-old regional supervisor Nate Moore and his team.
Sun's out, guns out. That's what we say.
Where local clubs Omanu, Papamoa and the Mount Lifeguards come together.
Right, so what we're going to do is start with the backboard carry. So your whole team with one patient on the backboard.
To compete in the legendary Frank Pia Challenge.
End of the day, it makes it a tighter team, and when stuff does start to go wrong, you kind of know your friends got your back, and you kind of know their strengths and weaknesses and what they're excelling at. It's more about that camaraderie, and it's kind of super cool to see.
The youngest member of each team has to eat dry Weet-Bix. Once fully consumed, the race begins.
3, 2, 1.
It's rookie versus rookie, with Elwyn from Papamoa, Schnibby repping the Mount, and Zach, who's hoping to take out the win for Omanu.
Each year it's kind of cool seeing the young'uns come in and kind of get initiated and kind of just love it as well. It just makes those memories like you just don't forget. That's the rookies, yeah. So they come in super fresh, not knowing a heck of a lot.
Got it, Snip.
Show us your time.
By the end of it, after they've done 2 or 3 seasons, it's amazing seeing their personal growth. And if they stick around, they get up to head guard here, which is a super cool kind of role you can have.
Come on, Snip. Come on.
Y'all like out of here?
Oh, no, Snip. I'm competing for Mount Maunganui today, and hopefully we have the win in the bag. Home grounds, home territory.
Definitely consider myself a competitive person. You're competing for glory with the Frankie Challenge. It's all about glory and bragging rights.
I think we've got a couple of Mounties that not playing ball here, Fergus. Sneaky.
But at the same time, cheating's also the name of the game. If you're not cheating, you're not doing Frankie right.
I think overall that means Oman's taking it.
Our team did pretty good today, took out the win. I was pretty happy with that. It's been a long time coming.
You guys run really well.
Feels fantastic to win today. I'm very stoked about it, especially because there were some waves and things, so it wasn't just an easy win.
There's a huge summer ahead, and the Bay Patrol lifeguards are going to be tested like never before. Today, over 2,000 people are soaking up the rays at Mount Maunganui.
Was it relatively safe to swim, or what do you recommend?
Obviously the flag is the safest.
Big numbers means more responsibility.
Packed everything but the sunblock. Just trying to run the plunge.
Keep an eye on these two fellas.
With a northerly and a reasonable swell, conditions are rapidly changing.
So I reckon this swell's a good enough size as well to cause us some problems. You've got to be pretty switched on. It's peak midsummer and there's some swell about. And yeah, you just got to be onto it on days like this. I think a board patrol up that end would be pretty useful now.
You have to be alert, you have to be active, you have to be looking at the water 24/7. You've got to be assessing the situation at every given minute. It keeps you on your toes, which is actually kind of good for us.
A swimmer came in and said that there's a strong current on the south flag.
With flash rips popping up everywhere.
You can see a couple of rips are starting to form. So if you're just able to just move down to the flag.
Positioning the flags can be quite a challenge.
So they can't move the flags north because it gets too steep and there's also rips on the side.
Yeah.
But they were thinking of narrowing the flags.
The rips are a very big factor from the mount, especially when you get a large swell. Down at the end of Moterika on the northern side, you've actually got the escalator, and that's just a constant rip that's going to be permanent there all summer. That'll just continue to push water out to sea.
Lifeguards Ruben and Taris are on flag patrol.
Hey guys, there's a real big rip to the south of the flag after this.
And decide to take preventative action and narrow up the flags.
Our priority and our vision goes to those people swinging the flags. It's the safest place on the beach. We check the conditions every day and over the course of the day as well. If they're not good enough, we'll move them.
So I was watching waves and breaking over the top one of his heads. So.
There was definitely a bit of an undertow.
Yeah, there's a couple people over there as well. It's mainly that group there.
With 5 years' experience behind her, Tessa heads out on her board to warn swimmers.
The beach environment can change so quick and it's so rapid. And if there is a lot of waves and not too many rips, a lot of people don't actually recognise as an undertow.
Are you guys able to just move into the flags a little bit? Thank you.
So all that water coming in has to go back out somewhere, and it's generally through the bottom.
There's a bottom on the side. Thank you.
As soon as that one swell comes through, they just lose contact with the bottom and gets pushed straight out to sea.
They actually kind of work.
Yeah, you got most of the guys out the right side of the flag over there, back in.
We've actually had 0 drownings between the flags. That's a really important statistic because it shows that, one, our lifeguards really know their stuff, and 2, that's where it's definitely going to be the safest to swim on the beach.
Cool, hope it stays that way.
On a crowded beach like today when the surf conditions are massive, we just always have to be prepared and can't really let our guard down for a second.
And it's not just the guards down at the flags that are keeping a close eye on them.
Tower is crucial. It's like an oversight of everything. How are we? They'll look out throughout the whole beach. They'll look at the flags, but not only the flags, they've been scanning the water for any jet skis, kayakers, and if something does start to kick off, that's kind of the first point of call. They'll run the comms, run the whole scene from there.
The flagged area isn't ideal today, and we've not got anywhere nice, but nowhere.
The tower lifeguards are on high alert, looking for any sign of swimmers who might be in trouble. Head lifeguard John has spotted someone out the back of the flags.
Flags, tower.
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
The furthest people out the back between the flags. There's a guy struggling.
When people are out the back, they're not touching the ground any longer, and they are essentially out in the deep blue. It's crazy how quickly the conditions can change.
Yeah, clear. I'll send Ruben out now. I can have a check.
We'll see the waves break at either side, and people will be in the rip. So these rips can pull at a good speed. And they can get up to like 3 or 4 knots. And people will just get swept out the back 50, 100, 200 metres.
But as Ruben heads out to check on swimmers...
Yeah, rescue. Get your hands up.
It's a pearler of a morning at the Mount with a high of 24 degrees. The massive swell has caused multiple rips.
It's pretty dangerous out there. Like, there's quite a few rips.
And with conditions changing rapidly,
Anything interesting happening?
Surf's got a bit bigger, but nothing more.
beachgoers can often find themselves completely out of their depth.
At the fan pretty quick. If there's nice big surf, you get a flash rip that opens up straight in between the flags even, and it's just going to change within 30 seconds to a minute.
Up in the Mount Tower, head lifeguard John has spotted several swimmers in danger of being pulled out into the rip.
Flags, tower.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
The furthest people at the back between the flags. There's a guy struggling, there's 3 girls with him.
The rip just opened out at the back of the flags. We went from one of the safe spots on the beach to one of the most dangerous. It was scary to see how quickly it did grab 3 or 4 swimmers.
A rip is pulling the struggling swimmer with his hand up out to sea, and the situation quickly escalates.
Yeah, rescue, hands up.
Ruben grabs the rescue tube and heads straight out to assist the swimmer with his hand up.
You can see him bouncing up and down off the bottom, which means he's in trouble because he's struggling for air.
So for that situation, we did have a flagged area where there was hundreds of people swimming. Seeing one person getting sucked out, we need to be aware that one could often lead to a lot more.
Suddenly, at flags, Taris is approached by a very distressed young girl.
Hello. My dad and my brother. They're all the way out.
She says that her dad and her brother, they've gone a bit too far out and they're not very good swimmers. We were quite concerned at that stage that something could happen.
Yeah, down there, get there. Get back to the boat, get the boat.
Let's go.
With not one, but now 3 swimmers in difficulty,
We got the RP coming as well.
it's turned into a mass rescue.
John, if you get down to flags and just monitor, we get the RV boat come around back down. When that adrenaline does kick in, you are essentially in that fight or flight mood.
Ruben is focused on reaching the swimmer, who is completely out of his depth.
You got to decide who's the most at risk of drowning and then work backwards from there.
You do get those split-second decisions where you do have to prioritise different patients.
Taris jumps on the rescue board and makes his way out to the girl's dad and brother on their boogie boards. They both appear to be battling against the rip.
Drowning can happen in a matter of seconds. Unless you find them as soon as possible, 1 to 2 minutes, the chances are you're looking at a bottom recovery.
That rip just grabbed them. There's a few of them. But they got sucked out real fast. So when someone's been out there for 2, 3 minutes, you're starting to fatigue, you're starting to really struggle to keep your head above water, which is just a super scary situation. And that panic just sets in. Ruben's got one at the back of the tube.
He clearly looked panicked, so I told him that I was a lifeguard and here to help. Got him lying down the tube, clipped him up, and started pulling him to shore.
Ruben is a very, very strong swimmer, so he got out to the patient within 30, 40 seconds, which is good to see.
Ruben's fast response has meant the difference between life and death.
For Ruben to get to that patient first and to give him that flotation device, that's all that he needs at the moment.
And while he tows exhausted 16-year-old Jordan back in with the rescue tube, Taris reaches the father and son boogie boarders, who are no longer in difficulty and are now safely making their way back to shore on their boards. Moments later, the boogie boarders are happily reunited with their relieved family now under control and no more swimmers in immediate danger. Taris is standing by to assist Ruben if needed.
As I start towing him in, I start talking to the patient, trying to calm them down, getting some information off him, asking him if he's swallowed any water, just keeping him afloat and keeping him calm so that we can get him back in.
Ruben and Jordan safely make it back to shore. But Jordan is extremely disorientated, showing signs that he's not out of danger yet.
Okay. You look really bad.
Ruben has just rescued 16-year-old Jordan, who found himself caught in a rip.
The male didn't really seem to know what was happening. He was quite out of it as well.
How far are we?
Okay, way far.
Quite a while.
And completely out of his depth.
I might just give you sit here for a little bit, bro, just in case. Okay.
While Jordan appears to be okay, it's important that the guards check him over for any further medical complications.
Drowning can be really quite lethal. It can lead to a loss of life, and a lot of people kind of don't take it as seriously as what you should.
Who are you here with? Just each other?
Yes.
I recommend they go see a medical professional if they've taken some water on board.
If you guys have taken on any water or anything, I'd advise you go to a doctor.
The biggest thing we find when people are rescued, most of the time they won't even realise that they were in potential life-threatening danger. You try to tell them, and most people will just be like, I was fine, I was fine. They come in and they brush it off. Mate, you weren't fine. Like, end of the day, you were about to be sucked out to sea. You weren't the best swimmer. Like, you were in over your head.
While Jordan has had quite the scare, every cloud has a silver lining. And now, getting a lot of attention from the ladies.
Are you okay? You look really bad. You're a little...
Just always just like died.
Wait, so what? You got taken by waves?
I don't even know. It's swimming.
89% of drownings over the last 10 years have been males. And it's just like, stuff like that is just horrendous to hear.
The water was like double the height in the last time.
Always guys are free to go now, so.
And I was just getting like dragged out.
No, you've never been able to swim.
Males often just see themselves as being slightly more overconfident than they perhaps are. 1 minute they are enjoying themselves, and then 30 seconds later, if that, they're swept out, feet aren't touching the bottom, and that panic's setting in.
Last year, our lifeguards rescued 577 New Zealanders. And today, thanks to Ruben's fast reaction and Jordan choosing to swim between the flags, he's walking away lucky to be alive.
Hey, Taris, I'm just going to go shuffle these people to the flag.
I mean, at the end of the day, these lifeguards are risking their lives going out in conditions that can be super unfavourable. And for them to put themselves in this situation to risk their life to go save someone else, it's just an amazing thing. You are making a difference to people's lives, which is just, yeah, something you can't really get elsewhere.
For a lifeguard, the experience of saving a life is invaluable. And for the next generation, aka the Nippers, training is in full swing. It's a junior surf program teaching kids beach safety. For the Mount's future lifeguards, it all starts here.
Becoming a surf lifeguard at the end of the day is not an easy process. You have to go through some tough fitness regimes to get up to like a standard that Surf Life Saving New Zealand's happy with. You go through like a bit of theory, basic CPR, a big 400-metre pool swim. So at the end of the day, you are equipped with the knowledge and the skills to be able to do the job required of a surf lifeguard.
But progressing through the ranks means exams.
We're doing a surf lifeguard exam, and this is the tube rescue component.
Hydrate?
No, because when you...
Oh yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
So to become a surf lifeguard, you have to put in a fair bit of work to get that fitness level up to the base standard for your bronze medallion, which is your lifeguard award.
Round.
And volunteer patrol captain Julia is examiner today.
And then, when you're ready, it's out like that. Okay? Right. And now you can go rescue.
The club always reels in some guards to help with water safety during the exams. And today, it's NZ's very own Hoff.
Obviously we're scraping the barrel with this water safety, but that's all we've got at the moment, so.
You're gonna have the best bloody quality of water safety you can imagine out there, I reckon. It's gonna be excellent. You got the best of the best.
Meet Dodsey, 7-season regional guard from Opotiki, currently in his 3rd year of university at Victoria.
You know, he's going for a little. Go back.
And spending his first summer season at the Mount. Best mates with fellow Opotiki guard Luke. They've been donning the lycra since they were 8 years old. And speaking a lingo that often requires captioning.
I was thinking that lawnmower, mate.
Yeah, legs are dead.
Mate, it's harder than a camel in a sandstorm, really. Oh, mate. Oh, yeah.
It's true as.
That's pretty chill, really, yeah.
Dodds is one of those guys that we've somehow acquired this year up this way.
Oh, no, that's the small. I get the small. We get that one.
He's obviously usually a Opotiki boy and loves to get those Opotiki spinners out whenever he can.
Yeah, it's a little dangly, but...
Kind of cool to have that kind of joking around, kind of as a less serious vibe. Because at times, like, the work environment can get quite serious here. And it's good to see that he can also fully turn on when it needs to be to switch into action.
I think there's lots of things that make a good lifeguard. Just being a nice, caring, friendly person. You need to absolutely froth what you do as well.
Good stuff, mate. Keep it up. Let's go. Awesome. Well done. 7 years ago, I did this test. I was rather nervous. Quite a frightening thing to do, but you feel like a man when you get it done.
Yeah.
Good stuff, mate.
They should be doing their single-person drag up the beach now. And I'll just go over to them and ask them questions while they're doing it.
Once the trainees have secured their patient with the rescue tube, they need to safely swim them back to shore and perform all the necessary checkups.
How far up are you going? We watch for their patient care and then stable side position on the beach. So we want you to be parallel to the water. Do you know why? No. Okay, so that you can be either watching the water or that she can be rolling down the beach.
I'm a happy instructor today. Everyone passing flying colours. Same for the rest of the day, they got some CPR, some first aid to do, and then they've got a little theory test. Then they're done for the day. We'll buy them all an ice cream and we'll be off home.